Good evening and welcome to this Shiro Coffee Chat Short. I am Melissa Farmer Hill, a retired Army veteran and the founder of the Shiro Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I am also the host of Shiro Coffee Chat, which airs right here every Sunday at 9 a.m. So if you've got your coffee, you've got your robe on, it's a Sunday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check us out right here. Now, today, we are taking a look at some of the executive orders that President Donald Trump has signed on his first wave of executive orders. But first, we need to talk about exactly what an executive order is. First of all, as you probably can see if you're watching the news or something like that, an executive order is a super powerful tool. And it allows the president to really direct agencies to take action without needing approval from Congress. It's almost like being a king because it carries the full weight of the law and it still can be used, to address issues and make changes just like that. And yes, executive orders, it does have controversy. It's not without its controversy, but mostly I think it's really because the legislative process tends to be very long and very drawn out. I mean, how many days does Congress actually work? And when they work, how much are they getting done with the business? That's because it's a long process. But it's definitely, the legislative branch is definitely necessary to keep the three branches in check. The executive, the legislative, the judicial, right? But I was surprised because when I went to, like, they have executive orders on file. So this is nothing new. Maybe you're just getting involved, but this is nothing new because they have executive orders on file, I think, since 1937. I thought that's what I read, since 1937. And it's really, like I said, the president can move away any of the red tape. But the problem with that is if another president comes in another 4 years and doesn't agree with it, all of that can be rescinded through executive orders, which is what we are seeing now. So, really, what I wanted to discuss are some of the executive orders that that uh, that will impact military and veteran communities. So you can go to whitehouse.gov, or I looked on Wikipedia. Wikipedia has it nicely, has a nice list of the executive orders by number. So you can go there too. I really like Wikipedia. I really like their setup. So let's discuss some of these executive orders. So, reinstating discharged service members. So this executive order allows about, I think it was 8,000 service members that were discharged out of the military for refusing the C-19 vaccine. So they're going to be reinstated. But here's the thing, they get their rank back and they also get back pay. Now, for some, this might be a good welcome for correction of past policy because, as we found out, I want to say New York State, if I'm not mistaken, New York State had to do the same thing. I don't, I with some of their employees. I didn't know whether it was like state employees or company employees, but those people were allowed to come back to work. I'm not sure if they received back pay or not. I'm just not sure, but they were reinstated to their jobs. But like I said, for some, it could be like a correction of the past, or it might raise questions about readiness and fairness. So tell me what you think. See, I'm in the business of problem solving. So, as chief of the warrant office recruiting team, when I was in recruiting, my instincts tell me, if our military strength numbers are low and then they can pass a MEPS exam, send them back. Send them back. We have a volunteer, we have volunteer forces. Not too long ago, if you remember, they were talking about reinstating the draft, or they put some measures in place. let's keep our military all volunteer. I like that. I like that because the people that are there, they want to be there. Improving veterans health care. So we're more focused. They're going to place more focus on expanding access to mental health, prioritizing treatments for PTSD, depression, and all of those conditions. And in my opinion, veterans can never, ever get too much health care. So I hope the funding and staffing keep up with this executive order. There's a military pay increase. Service members will see 5% increase. And basically, this is aimed at addressing inflation and improving retention in our armed forces. Have you ever heard or do you know that now in my experience, I have not seen this with my own eyes, but I'm told that there are some family members that are serving in our armed forces who need additional, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, I'm calling food stamps because that's what I just remember as a kid that we called them food stamps. But they need EBT card. But they need additional funding from the federal government to feed their families. This is on top of what they're already getting. Don't quote me on that. That's just hearsay or alleged. But if this is the case, then that 5% raise as an executive order, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Now the defense budget department might not have feel the same way, but it's okay with me. Strengthening our VA accountability. So they're targeting the Department of the Veteran Affairs to introduce stricter performance evaluations for employees. They want to make sure that veterans are receiving the care and the professional service they deserve. So, for some of you veterans, I know some horror stories uh, about some of the treatment they receive from the in the administration of their VA hospitals and things like that. So if we can do that to improve the transparency and ensure that veterans are receiving the best care, I'm on board. I'm on board. They're going to improve military housing standards. Oh my goodness. So if you've watched the news, or if you've been in the military, or if you've lived in the barracks, or if you lived in housing on military bases, you already know. You already know about how sometimes they have mold, they have no maintenance or lack of maintenance. They're living in World War II properties and barracks. So this order is going to enforce a new quality of living standards for housing. So yeah, anything that helps our service members and our families, I am on board with that. So I like that. Rolling back LGBTQIA. Ooh, LGBTQIA plus protections in the military. So this is one of the most controversial orders. And it basically just reinstates restrictions on transgender individuals serving in the military. It reverses policies that allow transgender troops to serve openly and access gender affirming care. So they're already fighting back with that. So we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime, I think that all the LGBTQIA plus information has been scrubbed from .gov sites. So there you go. So really, you guys, these are just some of the orders that executive orders impacting our military and veterans that I ran across. You know, when I served in the AG, hey, which stands for Adjutant General Corps, AG all the way, baby. So the AG Corps in the Army is primarily administrative. I mean, we've got the band, we've got some other, other things, but it's primarily administrative. And I seen firsthand how what the pen can do. First of all, it can get you promoted, it can get you kicked out, it can get you reinstated, it can make you change locations. That's just to name a few. We all know about signatures, signatures, and the power behind the position of the person who's signing. We all know about, especially if you're a veteran or you're serving now, you know the signature, the commander's signature or the chief's signature or the, we know what signatures mean. So these executive orders are showing you how really that the stroke of a pen can profoundly change the impact of those who serve our country. And if this is your first time, like really paying attention to executive orders and you've never been in the military, this is really, it's really showing you the impact of how the pen can change the lives of the citizens of this nation. So you're saying it too, whether it's addressing like social security, immigration, voting, all of these executive orders that are coming out, the impacts are far reaching on an executive order, but it really is all about how you see it. So you tell me, how do you see these executive orders being signed by President Donald Trump? Is it moving us forward or is it setting us back? Only you can decide that. Your opinion. It's your, because it's your opinion. But I look at it, hey, let's make this a reminder for ourselves. Let this be a wake up call to start using our own executive power in our own life. How about that? At the micro level, level of governing within our households, of governing at our jobs, our areas of responsibilities at work, of governing in our community. And it also just reminds you that, it's no straight line. Leadership and governing are complex. That's why we got to stay informed. That's why you got to govern your own household, because things are changing and they are changing rapidly. But as always, I want to say to you, make sure you keep your heart full and your coffee strong. This is my sweet 16th of 60 days. It was a doozy too. Woo! This sweet 16, we had a lot of sweet information, but that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.